Okay, quilt people, we are back to quilting, which is super exciting. The weather has finally broken. Hooray! I can actually wear clothes again. Speaking of which, oh my gosh. Like I went back and reviewed the last video that I posted, and normally like I shoot things kind of wide angle, right? And then as I go through, I edit each clip to zoom in on just the part that I'm focusing on. Apparently I missed that step a little bit. Was in totally a hurry, and so I just like put all the clips together and then published it. And it was like I went back and reviewed it, and I'm like, why can you see my stomach? Like, it's like a close up of my stomach and like crotch. It was just like, ah. So anyhow, gotta say that this time that wasn't on purpose. That's all we're gonna say about that. Okay. I'll just never fit in anywhere, which is totally fine. Because just one last thing. I talk too much. But in order to be a true artist, you really can't, pander to the audience, right? If you're consumed with what other people are thinking, especially in regards to your work, they call that being a hack. Okay, when you're pandering to your audience, all right? So the definition of a true artist for me is somebody who, regardless of external, input and criticism, stays true to their own personal vision. Like my shoes. True artist expression based off of what's written on your soul rather than being influenced by what others are saying, right? And so, for me personally as an artist, that's what I always try and do. I know I don't fit into the quilt world. That's been, made very plain to me, which is totally fine. I don't care. But if you want to come along this journey with me, like I've said before, that's cool. I'm happy to share with you my joy, my passion, what I do enjoy doing about this. Because I got to tell you, like, it's really tough to be a guy in the quilt world. Really tough. When you show up at a quilt guild, ladies, I mean, just really kind of, don't go out of a way to make a big deal of them, but, pull up a chair and talk to them, make friends, with the guys, because it's so difficult to show up at a guild meeting, because you feel like you both simultaneously stick out like a sore thumb while also being invisible. I don't know if any of you can relate to that, but that has been my experience, and it's super awkward, right? So I'm very lucky to be here in the Coachella Valley now because we have an amazing quilt guild here that's probably like, I don't know, maybe like 20% men. It's amazing. And so I'm really thankful for that. But yeah, this is what I'm working on right now. I'm continuing on my COVID quilt. As you can see, it's coming together. I put up the first tree, and then I have a second one, right? That's supposed to go here. So I have that tree, this tree, the person, right, who's going down here, and then the leaves, which will be coming across here, and then my Canadian goose, done in First Nations kind of artwork influence along those lines. So again, I'm really excited about this. I'm going to put the other elements together and put them on here, and then we're going to do just a little tutorial on pre-quilting, right? So when I put kind of images like this together, there's two stages of quilting, right? The first, I mean, it's not even really quilting, right? It's putting down thread. And so you're using just the top, right? Because I don't have batting or a back on it. Just the top to lay down some thread and color in some areas that would be a lot more difficult, because once I get the batting and back on this thing, it's going to be a monster, right? I mean, you're not even seeing the foreground, which is here. But it's so heavily paper pieced that it's really heavy. And so once I, got this done, I decided to cut it off because it was really, it was just a lot to try and move around. So again, going back to those fashion people, y'all have it so easy. Like, we're working with big monster projects here, But anyhow, this is going to go down here, right, and kind of be the foreground. I don't know if you can see it. I'm totally in the way. What else is new, right? What that's going to look like down here. Anyways, it's going to be cool, but it's a lot. So that's what we're doing. Just wanted to give you an update on that and kind of like say, okay, weather is cooperating. We are back to working on quilts. I don't know. Maybe I should stay in my lane. really don't know how to do anything else. I try. Oh, but like that's one of the main reasons I put it out there. Like I lead with my mistakes and I lead with what I don't know how to do because it allows you to see my own personal humanity, right? I'm not I'm not anything just, regular person just trying to figure it out as we go out through our day. And I'm not trying to be an expert on anything. If I ever come across like I'm trying to like teach, you know what I mean? Like along those lines, it's more like a discovery, right? This is what, and a lot of times I'll teach by what I don't know. Right? Like the whole fashion thing. Oh my gosh. Like that was so brand new to me. I'd never done any clothes at all. I mean, you could see like just doing a tank top. I was like, oh, it's literally two pieces. Like no sleeves, nothing. Just as basic as it gets. But for me to wade into those waters of making fashion clothes, like that was a big deal. And so I wanted to bring, especially the guys along, who maybe haven't been, exposed to a lot of that and let them kind of see, my entry level process. And if anybody gets anything from that, that's awesome. If you think I'm just like, ooh, little, like, you really don't know what you're doing. I'm like, yeah, I know. So I should definitely film me not knowing what I'm doing and putting it on the internet. How I operate. Like, who cares? But I really do this whole process thing for two main groups. Well, the first entity being me. Like, this is so my therapy. Like, if you ever met me, like, on the outside world, I'm not like this at all. I think people are surprised by that. I'm like, oh, very kind of, I'm very aggressive, actually, as a person. I think a lot of catches people off guard. Sorry. But it's why I come in here, right? Because I need that relief from all the tensions and just stress of life out there, which I get to leave and come in here and do, my awesome thing, which I'm very excited about, obviously, and having fun. But the second group that I do it for really is guys, those who have not been allowed to be brought along in the process. And ladies, I just gotta say, you don't get to be critical of us guys when you haven't included us from the time that we were boys. You don't get to leave us out as 5-year-olds, as 10-year-olds from the entire crafting process and then expect us to be awesome. Okay? We're doing the best that we can, a lot of us, because like even my mom was a sewing teacher and never taught me how to use a sewing machine. Now that's not a criticism, it's just the world we live in. Guys and boys are not given the same opportunities as women to learn about this stuff. And even though it's such a part of the American experience, right? Or in my case, the Canadian experience, like we are doing our best, right? And I know that a lot of times we're, not as good, and that's fine, but doesn't mean that we shouldn't be included, right? And so to all the ladies out there, especially you mothers who have young boys, please, right? Include them, right? Ask them if they want to come on the journey too, because there's lots of us who do. All right, so that's kind of where I am today. Again, like I was saying, I just wanted to kind of bring you back up to speed. We could refocus. What's that? Shiny object. I'm super ADD, which is totally fine. So what are we doing? Yeah, so just bring you back up to speed on this, kind of talk about next steps. Oh, so then after we do pre-quilting, then we're going to talk about monofilament threads, and a lot of the ones that I like, both in terms of like invisible thread or see-through thread, and then also some that incorporate some kind of opalescent and other shiny kind of objects that I'm going to be inserting into this quilt, because I want some of the areas in the background, especially around the white areas of the kind of unknown void, which I thought was really cool, if I don't say so myself. I thought it was really cool that rather than it being a dark black abyss, that it was instead white, because it was so like bright and intense that, you know how it goes, white like on a screen when it, anyways, you know what I'm talking about. So I wanted to include some of the, those monofilament threads on here. There's also, you know, wash away, which kind of comes into that same category, at least for me, right? But I'm not going to be doing that on this one. I do use wash away thread a lot, but not on this one. So we'll be reviewing, after we do pre-quilting, then we'll be doing invisible thread and opalescent thread, right? Opalescent's a little bit different and it's not truly monofilament, but nonetheless it kind of comes under the same category, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing in terms of trying to get a little bit more shine and life, right, in the background without it being too much, right? Because I mean, I don't want it to go jazzy, right? I don't want it to be shimmer shine, you know. It's got to be just a little, you know, a little reflection here and there to kind of, you know, play with the eyes and give a little bit of different information that's almost kind of 3D in the void area. Okay, that's enough for me. I'm so happy it's cool again. Oh my gosh, I couldn't take that heat. But now we can continue on with our quilting journey. Thank you for indulging me in all the other stupid stuff that I've been doing just to get through the summer. But yeah, so we're going to be doing that. And then by the end of this month, I will have my new fabric line in studio. And so I'm going to start then producing a bunch of quilt patterns. Again, like I talked about back in the spring, my next patterns moving forward are going to be pretty complicated and pretty challenging for a lot of people, right? We've done everything. We've done circles, we've done half square triangles, we've done, you know, all the basics, flying geese, you know, out the wazoo. All right, it's time to step it up a notch and to really challenge those who are in more the intermediate to advanced category, because how exciting, right? To let the people who are really amazing in this, to give them some challenges, and maybe we'll do some quilt challenges. Oh, that'd be so fun. Anyhow, I'm getting ahead of myself. I need to stop talking. Shut up. So that's it for me today. Thank you for allowing me to come in here and be stupid and show you my amazing shoes. They're making me really happy today. I hope that you're having an awesome day, and I will talk to you soon. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you hit that subscribe button, that would really help me out. You can always reach me at quiltingcowboy@gmail.com, and talk to you next time. Bye.